Hello guys. So as we progress in the field of generative AI, recently, creating multi-AI agents and multi-AI agents application is basically the buzz thing that is currently going on. So considering this, already, if you remember, in some of my previous videos, I've already discussed about Crew AI. There also we tried to create multi-agent applications, multi-agent AI applications. Along with that, we also made sure that we use different tools for that particular purpose, and each and every agent does some specific task. Now, in this particular video and in the upcoming series of video, here we are going to discuss about a new framework which is called as OpenAI Swarm, and this will also help us to create, some amazing multi-agent orchestration, lightweight applications. Again, Swarm is basically a framework by OpenAI. Okay, so here let's read about this, and then probably we'll go ahead and get started with this. I'll show you how you can probably go ahead and work with this with the help of Python programming language, and how you can also use different libraries to build some amazing multi-AI agent applications. So Swarm, it is an educational framework exploring ergonomic, lightweight and multi-agent orchestration. It is currently an experimental sample framework intended to explore the ergonomic interfaces for multi-agent system. Okay, it is not intended to be used in production, and therefore right now it is not having that official support. But in the later stages, you'll be seeing, because this framework looks quite amazing. You'll be able to see that, yeah, definitely some amazing things is basically going to happen over here. Okay, so these are some of the documentation which you will be able to see over here. Why Swarm? Swarm explores patterns that are lightweight, scalable, and highly customizable by design. It approach similar to Swarm are best suitable dealing with a large number of independent capabilities and instructions. So let's say that you want to develop an applications wherein there are multiple AI agents, then interaction between the agents will be efficiently handled by Swarm itself. So now let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and open my Google Colab. Okay. So I will just go ahead and open my Google Colab. Here, I will just go ahead and open this. And let me just go ahead and create a new notebook file. Okay. So here I'm going to create a new notebook file. And we will probably go ahead and write our code over here, right? Um, Now let me just make this some OpenAI Swarm. Okay. So I'm going to use this. Let's go ahead and change the runtime to L4. Yeah, L4 GPU. I have this. I also take a paid account of the Google Colab. That is basically very helpful and handy because I need to probably train huge models and all. So that is the reason we go ahead with this. Now, once it is connected, what I'm actually going to do is that we'll get started, and I'll show you step by step how you can get started with OpenAI Swarm. Okay. Now, over here, the first thing that we are specifically going to do is that we have to install a library. Again, we will just go ahead and do this installation. This is the GitHub OpenAI Swarm.get. So from here, we can directly go ahead and do the installation. So let's go ahead and do this. The minimum version that is specifically required is Python 3.10. And once you probably do that, you'll be able to do the installation. Okay. So the first thing first, what I will be doing is that I will also be making sure that I go ahead and import my OpenAI over here, right? OpenAI key. So this is the OpenAI key that I have. Again, once you probably see this particular video, this OpenAI key will be deleted. So go ahead and create your own key with respect to the OpenAI itself, right? So here I'll go ahead and press enter. So my OpenAI key is done. Okay, now let's get started with the Swarm basics framework. Okay, so first thing what I'm actually going to do is that I will just go ahead and show you a sample demo. So sample basic demo of Swarm. Okay, sample basic demo of Swarm. You'll get an idea like how to just go ahead and probably do the setup and all. Okay, and it's very simple. So first of all, what I will do after you have installed all the libraries, I will go ahead and write from Swarm import Swarm comma agent. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and use these two libraries. Then I will go ahead and write client is equal to Swarm, And here, let's go ahead and first of all, we need to go ahead and create a client for this form. Okay. Now this client will be responsible in making the interaction between the agents and all. So here, two things we have probably imported. One is Swarm and one is agent, right? So this agent will be specifically used to create agent itself. So let me just go ahead and create my first agent. So now what we are going to do is that after I have actually created the client, I will just go ahead and create my agent. So agent is equal to, I'll just use this specific agent over here. The first parameter in this agent is the name of the agent. So let's say I want to probably show a basic agent, basic conversational agent. And then I will just give some instruction. Instruction is my second parameter over here. And I'll just go ahead and write, hey, you are a helpful agent. Okay. And then what we are going to basically do is that I'm going to go ahead and create this messages. Inside this messages, I will just go ahead and set the role. So if you are probably following the series of the entire OpenAI, like how to work with this, I've already shown all these ways of how to probably set up the roles and all, right? So here, role will be equal to user, and then this will be my content. My content, I will just go ahead and write, hey, hi, how are you? Okay, so this will basically be my first, like this is just showing that a user is sending a message over here. Okay, then I will just go ahead and write response. Response is equal to client.run, and here I'm just going to go ahead and write agent is equal to which agent I'm specifically working with and what are the messages that I'm actually sending. Okay, so this messages I really need to send, and any new messages that comes we need to append in this particular list. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and print the response dot message, because client.run basically means we are just going to interact with our OpenAI API itself, which we have already imported, and it is going to take this particular agent, where this agent is just like a basic agent, and it is just saying, hey, you are a helpful agent, basic functionality, and I will just try to go ahead and provide or get the response back. Okay, so here I'm just going to go ahead and write content. Okay, done. So once this is done, I will let you go ahead and execute this. So let's print this now. So here it shows that response object has no attribute message. So let me go ahead and write response.messages. Okay. Now I should be able to see, hello, I am here and ready to help. How can I assist you today? So with respect to this particular message, my OpenAI is basically providing you this kind of response. And this is completely created with the help of agent framework, right? By using the Swarm. And this is how we basically do. We create an agent over here. Like this, we can also create multiple agents, and how to communicate with them agents, I will show you. But this is the basic setup whenever we talk about Swarm. This is how you basically go ahead and create the agent. You need to initialize a client for Swarm, and this client will be responsible in communicating with the agent and even running the agents with respect to different messages. So here, when we are writing client.run, agent is equal to agent, we are just passing this particular messages. Okay, so this is one basic example to start with, and now I will show you some more examples. We'll just move one step ahead and probably try to show you more amazing examples over here. Right now, let's go ahead and try to see one more example. This time, we basically say, hey, let's say that I want to do something like this. I want to probably transfer some information, some kind of task between agents, right? So let's say I want to transfer work between agents. Okay, then how can we specifically do this? So let's do like this. I will just copy this, I'll paste it over here. Okay, so let's see this specific example where we are going to do that. Okay, so first of all, what I will do again, you know how to import this Swarm and agent, so I will just go ahead and import this. Okay, along with this, I will just go ahead and create my client is equal to Swarm. Okay, so this will basically be my client. Let's say that I want to probably go ahead and write English underscore agent. I want to probably go ahead and create this particular agent, and this agent will be responsible in talking in English or replying in English, right? So here I have just created this particular agent over here. The first parameter will be name English agent. Okay, then in the second parameter, I'll just give some instructions. The instructions will be that you only speak English. Okay, so I'm just specifically saying that, hey, you don't know any other language. This agent only speaks English. Okay. Now I will just go ahead and create one more French agent. Okay. Now inside this French agent, let me just go ahead and write agent. Okay. And inside this agent, I will just go ahead and write name is equal to French agent. Okay. I hope the parameters are absolutely right. And then I will just go ahead and write instructions. And in the instruction, I'll say you only speak French. Okay. So these are my two specific agents. Now my main task is that whenever a user provides any query, right? If that query is in English, obviously this agent should probably do that task. Okay. If the query is not in English, it is in French, then it should transfer to this particular agent. Okay. So that is what we really want to do. Okay. So here, what I will do, I will write definition. I will try to create a function where I'll say, hey, transfer to French agent. Okay. And now inside this, what I'm actually going to do is that once we are transferring, what we are exactly doing, we are just transferring whatever things are there to this particular agent. So here, what I will do, I will just go ahead and call my return. Just a second. I'll just go ahead and write return French agent. Okay. Similarly, if I want to probably, if a person is basically asking a French agent about anything related to English, I should be able to transfer in this. Okay. But right now, I just don't want to show multiple things over here. Just will go step by step and probably show it to you. Okay. Now, let me do Control Z, client.add. Okay, no worries. Now, what I'm actually going to do, this is one of the function where we are transferring to the French agent. Now, I will just go ahead and use this English underscore agent, and we are just going to go ahead and add a function. Okay, sorry. We're going to go ahead and add a functions, okay, dot append. Okay. Now inside this append, okay, since this is my English agent, and here also we can add any number of functions. One of the function that I'm actually going to add is nothing but my transfer to the French agent. Okay. So now I hope you're able to understand. Whenever a query comes to an English agent, if that person is asking in French, then the main aim of adding this particular function is just to transfer the context to the French agent so that he will be able to provide the reply. Okay. Now I will just go ahead and create the same message role. Let's say I will just go ahead and copy and paste it over here. Okay. Now I am just asking in English. Okay. So role is user, content, hi, how are you? Then we are just running this. Instead of agent, here we are just going to go ahead and give my English agent. Okay. English agent. Now, once we give this English agent, we are also trying to give this particular messages. Now, English agent knows that, hey, whether this is in English or French, okay, and we can also pass French, but since it is passing in English, it knows that, hey, I can transfer to the French agent, but it is not required. This English agent will try to give the answer. So if it is giving the answer, it should be giving it in the form of English itself, right? So here you'll be able to see that I'm getting the output as English. Now, what if I pass some French text or content? Okay, so let's go ahead and write over here Google Translate. And I'm just going to go ahead and pass this. Let's say I want to translate from English to French. Okay, so here I'll say, how are you? Okay, so in here, I will just go ahead and write French. So I will just write comment was to. Okay, so let me go ahead and give this information over here. And instead of writing how are you, I will write comment to was to. I hope I'm right with this. I'm not familiar with French. Okay, I'll copy and paste it. Now, if I go ahead and execute, see this information, we are passing it to the English agent. But English agent has one more functionality wherein we said that, hey, we can also transfer it to the French agent, right? Like just like a customer care. If you are probably talking in English and you say that, hey, I want a French agent, then you can probably transfer the call to the French agent. So similarly, same thing is happening over here. Now let's go ahead and execute this. Once we execute this, here you'll be able to see that I'm actually able to get the response in French. Now, if I go ahead and see, hey, what does this basically mean? Let me paste it over here. Okay. So here, if I probably see this in English, so I'm doing well, thank you, and how are you? So that information has basically got converted over here to English, and we can also see that, hey, it's amazing that we are able to get the response right, right? So this is one amazing functionality, you know, and there is also another way, right? I can also probably add one more function saying that transfer to the English agent to the French agent itself, and we can add this particular function like this, right? So these are some of the very cool example how we can transfer the work between the agents. Okay, since we're getting started, I really want to show you multiple examples with respect to this. Okay, now the next step, what we are basically going to do is that I'm also going to show you that how we can use context variable. Okay, how to use context variable between an agent, within an agent, you know, so that we'll be able to display more information. So here, my third technique that we are going to write is about context variable, but within an agent. Okay, within an agent. So this is the next thing that I'm actually going to discuss about. So let's go ahead and again let's do this step by step. Okay, so first of all, what we are going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and import one swarm and agent. Okay, then I will just go ahead and provide some function. Okay, so here inside this function I'll write definition instruction. Okay, instruction, and here I'm going to go ahead and give my context variable, and inside this context variable, what I will do, I will just go ahead and write name, some context variable. Context variable means some history information, or some important information that is already available for that particular information, right? So here I will say, hey, context variable dot get name, and here I'm just going to say that, hey, let's give one name like user. Okay, some user, I'll talk about it, you know. So here I'm saying that, hey, some of the information I'm trying to pick out from this, one is the name and one is the user information. Okay, and this is saved some inside this particular context variable, which we are passing it over here. Okay, here now we are just returning it and saying that, hey, some message will try to return with respect to this instruction. You are a helpful agent, greet the user by name, whatever name is there. Okay, so this is the instruction that I'm actually going to give it over here. Okay, so this is just my f string. Along with that, let's say I want to print some details. Let's say that this person is working, this person is probably in a bank, right? So I'll say print account underscore details, right? So I will just go ahead and create my account underscore details, and inside this also I will just go ahead and provide my context underscore variables. Okay, and this context underscore variables this time is in the form of dictionary. Okay, now what I'm actually going to do is that I'm just trying to print the details of this particular customer, of the same user over here. Okay, and from where we are specifically getting that information, I'll also talk about it. So here, let's say that inside this context variable is just like some information in the form of key value pairs. Okay, so I have the user ID. I'm saying context underscore variable dot get user ID. Then context variable dot get name. Then we are printing this particular account details like name and user ID, and we're returning the success. Okay, so these are my two different functionalities for a user. Now what I have to do is that my agent will be there. Okay, I will just go ahead and create my agent. Now inside this particular agent, my name will be equal to agent. Okay, whatever agent is there. Now I can provide this entire instructions. Okay, entire instruction functions over here directly. So I'm writing instructions is equal to instructions, and then I also need to make sure that I provide multiple functions. Okay, so instruction is the default instruction that how my agent should behave like, right? So that is the reason we specifically say in this particular variable. So this variable is already available inside this agent library. Okay, the next thing that we have over here is something called as functions, and I can attach multiple functions also over here. So one of the function that I'm actually going to use is nothing but print account details. Okay, so print account details is available over here, and with respect to this print account details, so this is the function I can add it like this. You can add couple of functions which will be able to do this particular information. So what happens is that as soon as I run this particular agent, it knows what is the default instruction it needs to do, and then what is the function it needs to probably execute it, right? So here is there. Now what I will do, I will take this context variable that I'm actually passing it everywhere, and this information, let's say that this information we can set it through an API. We can set it through some databases, whatever values that are coming. Here, I will just go ahead and write some information. Let's say my name is Krish and my user ID, user underscore ID. You have to remember the name, the field should be absolutely and correctly same. Okay. So user ID, and user ID will be nothing but 123. Let's say I'm just going to go ahead and write in this way. Perfect. So context variable is basically getting set to this information. See, this information we can get it through an API, we can get it through the databases, whatever things we can basically get it. Now, what I really need to do is that I need to take my client, that is this, and we'll try to run with a specific role with an agent, and we can probably send this particular context variable. Okay. So now what I will do, I will go ahead and write response is equal to client.run. Okay. Now inside this client.run, the first thing that I can give is my agent. Agent is equal to agent. Messages role will be agent. Content will be like, hi, how are you? And whatever context variable that I'm sending. In this context variable, I know the user information is basically sent. So whatever user information is there, based on that, is just going to print this particular account details. And this instruction is also going to run within that, right? It knows like how should the agent basically work. Okay. Now what I'm actually going to do, I will just go ahead and print this. Now see this. See, the best part will be this now. Okay. So now I'm specifically giving this particular context variable. So this is context variable. Yeah, context variable. Let's execute this. Okay. So hello, Chris, I'm ready to assist you. How can I help you today? So by default, the first information is basically with respect to the instruction. Right? So instruction is like as soon as I give, hi, how are you? Hello, Chris, I am here ready to assist you. How can I help you today? It knows some information that I'm Chris, right? From where it is getting this information? From this context variable. Now you may be thinking, Chris, still this print account details has not executed. So in order to execute it, what do you need to do? Right? You just need to go ahead and change the message. So now let me just go ahead and copy this. Okay. Hi, how are you? Instead of saying hi, how are we? I'll say, hey, print my account details. Okay. And now let's execute this. Let's execute this. Hey, you can see Krish 123. Your account details have been successfully printed. If there is any else you need to feel free to ask. So whatever context information that I have over here, let's say I want to probably get to know about my salary. Let's say my salary over here is 50,000 rupees. Okay. Now if I execute this, now let's see. Okay. Here I'm going to get, hey Krish, I'll say, hey, what is my salary? Okay. What is my salary? So if I go ahead and execute it, I think you should be able to see. And I'm able to retrieve the specific details like a salary or account information. However, if you want further assistance, please free let me know. Okay, so salary field is definitely over here and we are not able to get it, but account details, Krish 123. Let's see. Okay, here the reason is very simple because we are not able to get this information. So I'll copy this and I'll change it over here. I will say, hey, this is my salary. And with respect to the salary, I need to just use this context underscore variable dot get, and this should be my salary. Okay. Perfect, right? So now if I execute this, now everything should work perfectly fine. Okay. Now what is my salary? Come on. I can print account details with the salary. Would you like me to do that? Yes, obviously. Father, hello Krish, how to assist you? This. Please print. Okay, I'll just go ahead and write print my salary, right? Because in the print function, we are, yeah, print my salary. Okay, so I'll go ahead and write print my salary. Okay, now I think I should be able to get it. Your salary has been successfully retrieved. If you need further information, account details, Krish 123. Still, this is not updated. Let's see why it is not updated, because we are reading this salary over here. Context variables, this print. Okay, I'm not printing it over here. True. Okay, so this will basically be my salary. So here I will just go ahead and write my salary. Okay, so that information was not getting printed. If I go ahead and print it, you'll be able to see Krish 123 50,000, right? So whatever things you can basically want to print, you can create that kind of function. Let's say that I just want to go ahead and print my salary only, right? So now instead of doing this, I'll remove this. This will be my account details. And here will be my salary, right? So here I will say print salary details, right? So print salary details is over here. I don't want to display this to information. I'll say, hey, my salary, Krish, salary is, okay, so something like this, and we are just going to print this, okay? And then I can still add this particular functions over here too, right? So here will be my functions, and this looks good. How are you? All this information. Let's see now. Can I print my salary? Now I should be able to get it, right? Salary is 5,000, right? So this is how super cool this is. You know, you can probably use this context variables for your purpose, and you can probably display as many number of times with respect to this. Okay, let's see one more example, and this is with respect to function calling, but I hope you are able to get multiple examples with respect to this. Now let's see with respect to function calling, and I think this is the super amazing functionality for this. Let me copy and paste some of the code over here. So here, let's say that this is my get weather function. Okay, I'm specifically giving a location, and based on that location, I get my weather in temperature in Celsius, in Fahrenheit. Okay, so this information can be got through any APIs over there. But now from this particular information, you'll be able to see that you'll be able to query the agents. So here we have created an agent. You are a helpful agent. Functions is get weather. I'm saying, hey, what's the weather in NYC, right? So whatever weather we are specifically calling, we have to call this particular function. We're getting this information, right? Later on, we can take this location. We can put an API request based on that, right? So now if I go ahead and execute, it should be able to give me this 67 value. Okay, so current temperature in NYC is 67°F. So here you can see how powerful this OpenAI swarm is, right? And I hope you have got an idea with respect to this. Still, you can refer many more things from this particular GitHub URL. Okay, multiple examples is specifically given. Okay, I would suggest try it out with multiple things, and then definitely you'll be able to see much more amazing examples. So I hope you like this particular video. This was it from my side. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Take care.